Today, we're diving into a fascinating and intriguing topic. What was the world like before the Great Flood? Have you ever wondered about the lives of those who existed before the massive catastrophe that reshaped humanity's history? What were the climate, geography, culture, religion, technology, morality, and spirituality like in that ancient era? In this video, we'll explore some facts and mysteries about the antediluvian world based on biblical accounts, historical records, and scientific insights. The Bible gives us an in-depth account of this monumental event, highlighting God's justice, mercy, and the faith of one man, Noah. In this video, we'll explore key passages from the Bible that shed light on the events leading up to the flood, the divine reasons behind it, and how Noah and his family found favor with God. Make sure to stick around until the end, because you're about to uncover some surprising revelations. But before we start, I'd like to ask you to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos, and share this content with your friends so they can learn about this captivating topic too. Let's get started. The first thing to know about the pre-flood world is how drastically different it was from what we experience today. One striking aspect was the extraordinary lifespan of people. Did you know that individuals before the flood lived far longer than those who came afterward? For example, the Bible tells us that the patriarchs of that time lived for hundreds of years. Adam, the first man, lived for 930 years. Seth, his son, reached 912 years. Methuselah, Noah's grandfather, lived for 969 years, making him the oldest recorded person in history. And Noah himself lived for 950 years. Why did people live for such a long time back then? There are a few theories, but one of the most widely accepted explanations is that the Earth's environment was far more favorable for human life. It is believed that a vapor canopy surrounded the planet, shielding it from harmful solar radiation and creating a stable, humid, and temperate climate. This protective layer may have collapsed during the flood, resulting in the torrential rains that submerged the Earth. Afterward, the environment changed drastically, becoming colder, drier, and more exposed to solar radiation, which likely shortened human lifespan significantly. Another fascinating feature of the pre-flood world was the direct interaction between the divine and humanity. In those days, God communicated directly with individuals like Adam, Eve, Cain, Abel, Enoch, and Noah. He provided them with instructions, warnings, promises, and blessings. But he also delivered judgment and consequences when they disobeyed. The Bible also describes an extraordinary event before the flood, the union of the sons of God with the daughters of men, resulting in the birth of giants known as the Nephilim. But who were these sons of God? And who were the Nephilim? Scholars and theologians have debated these questions for centuries. A common interpretation is that the sons of God were fallen angels who defied God, came to earth, and had relationships with human women. This unholy union produced the Nephilim, beings who were part human and part angelic, known for their immense strength, size, and wickedness. Their corruption and violence were so great that they played a significant role in provoking God's wrath, leading to the flood. To understand why these angels rebelled against God, we must look even further back in time. Before the earth's creation, there was God, surrounded by his majesty, alongside his son Jesus. God also created angels, spiritual beings who worshipped and served him. Among these angels was one who stood out for his beauty, intelligence, and power. Lucifer, which means morning star. He was the anointed cherub who guarded God's throne, leading the angels in worship. However, Lucifer wasn't content with his position. His pride, envy, and ambition led him to rebel against God, convincing a third of the angels to join him in his quest to usurp God's authority. But God, being sovereign and all-powerful, cast Lucifer and his rebellious followers out of heaven. From then on, Lucifer became known as Satan, meaning adversary, and the fallen angels became demons, spreading evil under his command. When God created the earth and placed humans on it, Satan saw an opportunity to retaliate against God. He targeted Adam and Eve, using a serpent to deceive him into disobeying God's command. By eating the forbidden fruit, they introduced sin into the world, resulting in separation from God and the loss of their original innocence. This act also transferred authority over the earth to Satan, who became the prince of this world. From that moment, humanity's story has been one of both fall and redemption, marked by struggles, sin, and hope for restoration. The early chapters of this story include Cain and Abel, the sons of Adam and Eve. While Abel was faithful and offered his best to God, Cain harbored anger and jealousy, leading him to commit the first murder by killing his brother. God confronted Cain, cursed him, and marked him so others wouldn't harm him. Cain's descendants built the first city and developed various skills and trades, but they also turned away from God, indulging in violence and immorality. Amid this corruption, a few individuals remained faithful to God. One of them was Enoch, who walked with God and was taken directly to heaven without experiencing death. He was an example of righteousness in an increasingly wicked world. As humanity grew more corrupt, God saw that the earth was filled with evil and violence. Regretful of creating mankind, he decided to cleanse the world with a flood, sparing only Noah, a righteous man who walked with God and his family. God instructed Noah to build an ark, a massive vessel designed to preserve life during the flood. Despite facing mockery and disbelief from his contemporaries, Noah obeyed, spending decades constructing the ark and warning others of the coming judgment. Finally, the day arrived when the heavens opened and rain poured down for 40 days and nights. The floodwaters covered even the tallest mountains, wiping out all living creatures except for those inside the ark. After the flood, Noah and his family emerged to a new beginning, symbolizing God's mercy and the hope of restoration. Once the flood was over, God established a new covenant with Noah and all living creatures, symbolized by a rainbow. In Genesis 9 verses 11 to 13, God declared, "I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth." And God said, "This is the sign of the covenant I am making between me and you and every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come. I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth." This promise reassures us of God's mercy and his plan for humanity's redemption. The story of the pre-flood world serves as a powerful reminder of humanity's potential for both great wickedness and redemption. It challenges us to reflect on our own lives and the choices we make. The story of Noah and the flood is more than an account of judgment. It's a call to reflection. It reminds us of the consequences of sin, but also highlights God's grace and his willingness to save those who walk faithfully with him. If you've made it this far, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any updates. Share this video with others who might find this topic as fascinating as you did. And before you go, there's another incredible video waiting for you right now on your screen. Check it out. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.